to Great County Life on Rogers TV at home this week as well. We hope everybody is warm and cozy at home. Good morning, Mary Jane. How are you this week?
Oh, just fine, and very grateful to be at home. We've got some weather coming in.
Yeah, it should be interesting. We were saying, I'm pretty sure that my son will be home from school tomorrow, quite likely, if the forecast is at all correct. So it's going to be pretty yucky. But I mean, gee whiz, we don't have a lot to complain about. You know, it is pretty easy going winter that we've had this year, which is, I guess, in lots of ways, a really good thing. I missed the snow. You know, the skating outside, the snowmobiling, as we were talking about a few weeks ago. It's been a strange winter, and we'll talk more about that and some of the repercussions of it, I think, later with Miss Renee during our Adorable Adoptables segment. But we did want to do a shout out because it is Anti-Bullying Day. And it is Wear a Pink Shirt, and we are in splendid company here, Charlie. You look lovely in your pink shirt, lady. And I realized I threw out my pink T-shirt. I got rid of it during a purge. And so, yeah, I'm slightly pale, but we are still in pink theme because we don't believe in bullying and believe in standing up to that sort of thing.
Well, you know, I'm always saying, is always be kind, because we really don't know what people are going through. Even if they are friends, we still don't know. But bullying happens to happen in more ways than one. And I think just having a day where everyone takes a pause and say that behavior is just not acceptable anymore in any situation. So let's wear pink and always be kind.
Yeah. You know, it can be scary to stand up to a bully, but there is strength in numbers, power in numbers. And if we all collectively say, hey, we don't accept this anymore, be quiet. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. It's really, you know, it goes back to basic manners, you would think, but it's definitely a very complicated community situation and environment that we're in. So it's not always cut and dried, is it?
No, it isn't. And just following on that theme to always be kind. And now that, you know, we're all sort of being able to get out and about, and spring is coming up, and I've been wearing socks and boots for 3 years, and it's time to get a pair of shoes. You know, we love our downtown shopping opportunities, and it's my go-to place. So I went to Becker Shoes, and I just want to do a shout out to Charlotte. I had the best customer service at the Becker Shoes in downtown Owen Sound, but Charlotte was amazing.
Wow. Yeah. And you know, that customer service, it makes the shopping experience a lot better. And you go into these big box stores and there's nobody. There's people to clean up, you know, but you're left to your own devices for the most part. And, you know, sometimes you need that extra, you know, a little bit of extra customer service to get what you're actually looking for. Which is nice.
Not only did I get what I was looking for, but I bought 2 pair. So anyway, this is February, and we have been taking just, you know, a few minutes at the beginning to honor Black History Month, because Black history is Canadian history. And I think that Black History Month just gives us the space to honor and acknowledge and to have a better understanding of Black and African histories and culture and heritages. And what is really important is that we take the time to actually learn something new, as we've been doing through the show. But it also gives us an opportunity to understand the past and the present, and then we can envision what our futures for our Black communities and for our communities in general, what they could be. And it's good to take that time to honor Black History Month. But as we were talking about the connections in Black history. One show has been a segue actually to the next, and this is another segue because we talked about the BKL origin story of Daddy Hall, what led into Tony Miller, because he produced the book in 80 lino cuts. And then Tony Miller also has an ancestral connection to Owen Sound, and that is through Reverend Thomas Henry Miller, who was born a slave in Maryland, was set free, came to Owen Sound in 1850, and established the British Methodist Episcopal Church here in Owen Sound. So Tony Miller's link to his great grandfather is also an integral part of our Black history in our community. Not only that, but the Reverend established the first emancipation picnic back in the 1850s. So 1850s, 1860s. So, and then of course, the continuing link to that is to Potter's Field. And that's where his grave is, unmarked. However, you know, our really concerned citizens wanting to honor our Black history within our community set up the monument at Potter's Field to acknowledge the over 1,000 people who were buried in Potter's Field, most with unmarked graves, and over 100 people from our Black community. So now there's a monument there. So it's really interesting, all the links that are being made and acknowledgements that are being made in our community to celebrate, honor, and to acknowledge the struggles and challenges of our
Mary
Black
Jane, thank you for reminding us of our connections in our community and Black History Month. And we're going to be back after these messages with more Grey County Life at Home.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
The devastating earthquake that struck Turkey and Syria has left thousands of people dead, and many more have lost their homes. Millions continue to be in need of emergency assistance. The Humanitarian Coalition is responding to the urgent needs. You can help. Donate today at together.ca. That's together.ca. The Humanitarian Coalition. Together, saving more lives.
What kind of show do you want to see on Rogers TV? What interests you? Log on to rogerstv.com, fill out a show proposal, and tell us about your segment idea. We want to know what you want to see. Rogers TV, only on Rogers.
Welcome to Grey County Life on Rogers TV. We're at home this week, and I think we're all going to be hunkering down with a lot of snow, and maybe some outdoor ice rinks would be handy for the guests that we have on with us now, Mary Jane.
Yes, well, we're welcoming for the very first time Brenda Yorth and Madison Yorth Illman, and they are from Grit, and that is in reference to young girls and hockey skills and building grit. And welcome, Brenda and Madison. So let's start off the conversation, Brenda, with telling us about, you're the mastermind and the creator, and Madison is the instructor. So tell us what grit is and how it got started.
I noticed in our area, specifically Saugeen Shores, I was involved with the girls hockey program, and I noticed that there was a need for some development skills and a hockey school. Several people had asked me if I was interested in running one, because I have ran several in the past. So we decided to develop a week-long hockey school, and the registration is going quite well. It's 3 different age categories, and they're filling up very quickly.
So what is grit? Like there's more to it than just a name.
For sure. So we chose the name Building Grit for our hockey school because in athletes, grit is that, that thing of building your passion for the sport, but also building a perseverance, to get through things, building perseverance towards long-term goals. And, even if you're let down, working through that and, being gritty, it's kind of a different word, but having that perseverance, passion for the sport. And it's something that you want to see in all athletes. But we felt that it was a really great name for our hockey school because for young girls, especially, once they reach a certain age, you do lose a lot of female athletes. Our age categories go up to U15 for this school specifically. And it's after that age that you do find a lot of young ladies leave organized sport. So we're trying to build that grit, that passion in young female hockey players.
I have to say, I think that name is very, very spot on with where we are in our whole world situation here. I think grit, mental strength, and all of that, we all have to kind of draw on ourselves to get through these difficult times. And what a great name for building grit in our young female athletes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I also see it as a lifelong skill. I mean, you're starting with young girls, and you're building it based on a sport, but you're also building it as an attitude and a lifelong skill because they're going to be faced with so many challenges in the future, and being able to push through that, whatever it is in their life's journey.
Definitely. Self-confidence is a big deal for our young ladies right now. And we want to build self-confidence as much as we can, and skills, and teach them perseverance for sure.
And what funner way to do that than through sport, through hockey?
Well, Madison, I can see the passion. So at what age did you start playing hockey?
Oh, I think I started playing hockey when I was 7.
No,
6.
Maddie, you started a little earlier, about 6.
6,
yeah,
6. Yep. And actually, my mother was my coach for many years up until I was almost 16, 17. And now we get to play. I call it old lady hockey. We play old lady hockey together. I mean, it's our Friday night outing. We still play. We have some amazing instructors that are also part of our Building Grit hockey school that have all played elite levels of hockey, female hockey, and they're going to be on the ice with the girls. So we have Tracy Polinsky Robinson from the Saugeen Shores area, Jill Fraser from the Kincardine area. We have Lindsay Yurth, who is also from Saugeen Shores, and Katie Myatt, who plays also a role in the Saugeen Shores Storm girls program. I'm
very fortunate. I have my daughter-in-law and my daughter on the ice with me helping with this. So we've played hockey together, and all these girls have played very elite hockey. They've all played university or on the national teams, or they're very, very skilled hockey
and
players.
Still play now.
And still play. So do I.
Well, Brenda, you still play now. Did you grow up playing hockey?
I did. I did start. I did play hockey at a young age. I didn't start as early as Madison did. I've spent most of my career in hockey, a lot more coaching than I have playing. I played in university and college, but then I have been coaching ever since at the elite level. So
Wow.
it's been fun. I retired from coaching about 8 years ago, but I've been coaching AA or the higher elite level. And most of these girls have played for me. Actually, I think all of them. Every single instructor that I have has played for me. I've been their coach at one point in time. So.
Wow.
Well,
It's a legacy you're having. You're going to leave.
We have a lot of fun with it.
So tell us more about the camp, about the age levels, the youngest to the oldest, and what are the specific skills that they're going to be learning at the various ages?
Okay.
So
you go ahead.
Okay.
So our youngest age group is our U9 age group, which are girls born in 2015 and 2016. So they have a 50-minute ice time. And then we also have U11. So girls born 2013, 2014, they have an hour and 20-minute ice time. And then we have our U13 and U15. So that's girls born in 2012, 2011, 2010, and 2009. They also have the hour and 20-minute. We broke it down that way just so that we could have, as much space on the ice with as many kids, have space for the girls to play. And it just seemed to be where it fell for those girls. But skills wise,
the development program that I run is usually a day and a half of skating and honing in on some skating skills. Then we do an awful lot of hockey skills, and we break that up into usually 3 groups on the ice. And we do, go right through from stops and starts both ways to stick handling to target practice. There's a lot of equipment on the ice for them to use. We like to have a lot of fun with it. So I try to turn a lot of it into games for them. The younger they are, obviously, the more games they play. But there's a lot of a little bit of competitive games, some racing and stuff like that. But we usually like to end with obstacle courses. The children absolutely love obstacle courses. All of them do. Even the 15-year-olds absolutely love that. So I have a lot of equipment that goes out on the ice at certain periods of time, and we play around it and we do a lot of stuff with it. So, and then we end on Friday, it's game day. And they love game day. They go crazy for game day. So we break them into 2 halves, and we have the goaltenders, and they actually get to show their skills that they learned for the 4 days before that. And then Friday's game day. And we do the cheering, we do the team camaraderie, and they understand, what it is they've spent the whole week with these girls that they may never have known before, did not know them at all. And then they spend Friday really having their cheer together, doing all their, high fives and all that kind of stuff. So it's really a good team event at the end.
Wow. So it sounds like it's a full week. Yeah. Each group gets an hour and 20 minutes per day for a full week.
Yes, yes.
Oh, correct. Yeah, August 21st to 25th. So Monday to Friday. And yes, they get an hour to an hour and a half of ice time each day.
The younger ones are only 50 minutes, like 1 hour of ice time, because to tell you the truth, at that age, it's pretty hard for them to stay on the ice for an hour and 20 minutes. It's a lot of work for them. It's a lot of skating for them. And they're exhausted at the end of the week. So,
I think you guys are going to be exhausted.
Yeah, I will.
I'm like 5 minutes on the ice and my feet are hurting and I'm crying and it's time to go for hot chocolate.
I say that I was raised in skates, so I'm pretty good on I'm used to being in them all day long. So that's
yeah.
Well, do any of the girls have to have sort of basic level skating skills before they become engaged with the camp?
Yeah, it is best. The youngest group, we do a little bit more skating, conditioning and understanding the critiquing the skills that they have, but it is beneficial for them to be able to skate on their own, get up when they fall on their own, and maybe a little bit of backward skating. So it is beneficial, just because the number of instructors, I can usually pull one or two aside and have them work specifically, but it would be beneficial if they're all able to at least be able to skate forward on their own and get up when they fall, that we don't have to lift them off the ice. It's a little hard on the back after a while.
It is a hockey skills camp. So, for example, my daughter is going to be in the U9 program, so she'll be partaking. She can skate. She's not stick handling around anybody, that's for sure. But, being able to skate or feel confident in their skates is, a good requirement for this school for sure.
Well, you'll benefit the most if you've got some basic skills right off the bat, right?
Correct. Yeah. We're not a learn to skate program. It is a hockey skills program. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And do you have a fee structure that the parents who are thinking about enrolling their daughters into this camp, what would be the fee structure so that they have that in advance?
Absolutely. So for our summer camp, the August 21st to 25th, the U9, which is the 50 minutes of ice time, is $135 per child. And then the U11, as well as the U13 and U15, who have that hour and 20 minutes of ice, is $165 per participant. It's a great way for girls to get their skates on at the end of the summer before the hockey season starts again, end of August. Sometimes tryouts are beginning in September, that sort of thing. So it's a great way to strap those skates on, before we get into the season again.
And do you help out with equipment if families can manage the fee, but children's feet grow? Maybe those skates from last year didn't quite fit. Is there any way of what do they call it? Equipment swaps.
It's good for the parents to check their equipment before they get there. But I do have a supply of several different size skates that, would be not an issue, that we would be able to find some for them and maybe some equipment. But it's good to check all of that stuff beforehand. Like Maddie said, a lot of the tryouts are after the hockey school. And so it's good for them to have their equipment set.
And if there is that sort of situation, we can always be contacted at our website.
Yes.
At buildinggritgirlshockey@gmail.com. If there was any concerns from any families about that sort of thing, always just reach out to us. We have lots of contacts in the hockey world, in the Saugeen Shores area and beyond. So we'll always do what we can to help.
Oh, well, that's great, because I know that hockey can be expensive for families. And whatever supports that they can have is terrific, because we really want to encourage more women, more girls and more women in hockey, not only to build the sport, but to build that grit as you're talking about for their life journey. But I think the more women who are in the hockey sport, the more acceptance, more rule changes for them, better sponsors and supports in the future.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Do you see yourself being a coach, Madison, in the future, following your mom's footsteps?
I have two little girls myself, a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. 6-year-old's been playing hockey for 2 years now, organized hockey out of Saugeen Shores. And my 3-year-old will be starting next year. I want to be involved. I had the amazing experience of having my mother coach me. And sometimes it was amazing. Sometimes, coach's kid, you sometimes get made example of, but that's okay. It really fosters something special between us. And I hope to provide that for my kids as well. It's a lot of time, it's a lot of energy, and all the volunteers, all the parents that volunteer to help coach or be the trainer or, be a manager on a hockey team even it's a lot of work, and they put a lot of effort into it and a lot of time. So, those of us that are able to help out and do it, it's really great. And I'm doing training this year with my daughter's U9 team. So I get to kind of be a part of it and easing my way into it, if you will. But yeah, this hockey school is going to be a great experience for me as well. But it's awesome. We have kids signed up from, Saugeen Shores area, Kincardine, Tiverton, Walkerton. We do have a young lady signed up from Burlington. I wonder if she's maybe visiting the area for the summer. So, we're hoping to just reach all those young athletes out there, all those young girls that, want to get more involved in hockey.
And where is the actual location of the camp?
It is at the Port Elgin Flex in Saugeen Shores. Yep.
Very nice facilities, I believe.
Yes.
It is, yes.
Very large ice surface. We're approximately 80% full right now, and we will do a wait list. So things are moving along quite nicely.
Yeah. Wow. Boy, and I would think, this is the inaugural hockey school, correct?
Correct.
So
correct.
you're thinking going forward, you may end up thinking that you're going to need to expand pretty quickly, I would think.
Yeah, we had talked about possibly a Christmas camp and definitely making this an annual event. I have actually had some interest from some senior ladies that wanted to do a little bit of a hockey school, which might be more my speed now. But exactly. I'd be interested in that kind of thing. It's fun. You've got to make it fun, and there's a lot of learning at the same time.
Yeah. And you're creating friendships and connections and networks that are going to last a lifetime for these women in our community. And what a gift that is.
When my daughter played AA hockey, which I coached for quite a few years, and several of the instructors played AA hockey that I coached, and they then went on and played university or college hockey, or in the cities when they went away to school, and they ran into people that they had played with, maybe from Belmore or from Walkerton or from that they would not have gone to high school with, but they became friends with through hockey, and they ran into them again in university. So kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for coming on and sharing this with us. I have a feeling you're going to be a very successful team with your coaching and your school. Thanks so much. And boy, you're going to be successful. We are a hockey area, that's for sure.
We are.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much,
Rhonda. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Well,
Heartbeat of Mother Earth, I feel you and embrace your warmth. I see you dancing through the trees. Your song floats on the summer breeze. Community, we come together. We are the voice of our ancestors. Thankful for how much you bless us. Feel the thunder in the drum. All our voices sing as one. Feel the power, feel the pride. Feel the drumbeat deep inside. Feel the boom, feel the bass. Let's let go of time and space. It'll make you dance, it'll make you sing. Ode Wegun, Wedok Wishin. The drum will lead you, take you far. Always remember who you are.
don't forget to tune in to Grey County Life on Rogers TV next week.
We're going to have an author who writes sci-fi fantasy novels for teenagers.
Are you the type who would keep going or stop? It's not easy to stop when you have an addiction. Legalizing cannabis won't stop addiction. It trivializes its consumption. Let's be vigilant. If you need help, visit portage.ca.
Welcome back to Grey County Life on Rogers TV at home this week. And I have to say, Mary Jane, after our last guest, perhaps we should look at getting some hockey skates on together. We can do that.
Oh, Rhonda. Well, let's move into the segue for our guest this time because it's more my speed, and that is attending the Roxy Theater with the Owen Sound Little Theater Group, which is just amazing. I can't wait to go to the theater on Friday night because I've got seasons tickets every year for decades. And with the play coming up, You, Me, and a Bit of Driftwood, we have the director, Kevin Haxel, and we also have with us Sheila Spur, who's also going to talk about her upcoming production. So we're going to get two for the price of one today. So welcome, Kevin and Sheila.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
and tell us about You, Me, and a Bit of Driftwood, because you're the director.
I am the director. I have the privilege of directing the first ever production of this play. It's written by a local playwright, Samantha Colwell-Castles, wonderful actress who, through COVID, through basically the frustration of not having something to channel her creative talents into, decided to write a play. And she's written a wonderful, warm-hearted comedy drama that takes place during COVID. The You and Me refers to her lead characters, which are Rose and Cooper, and the Driftwood, well, literally the Driftwood is what Cooper starts collecting because he has a little too much time on his hands because he can't work. But thematically, Driftwood's significant because obviously it's wood that drifts, and thematically to drift is to move where things take you without any control over direction. And we sort of discover that Cooper's been living that life certainly up until a certain point in the play. Wonderful play. In fact, if I may, I'd like to read you an unsolicited review that we received. We had our dress rehearsal last night, and I received this morning. My sister and I agree that we saw a wonderful show last night. Thanks to the cast and crew. Fabulous characters, masterful plot, really well-tuned transitions, a great set, and an opportunity to reflect on the last few years of growth in humanity. Samantha has written a masterpiece for our times. I couldn't have said it better. Very proud of this show.
Yes.
And Sheila plays a significant role. And actually, it's a very interesting role because it's the only role that involves being on stage, which is, of course, the usual, but she's also on stage through an off-stage FaceTime call. In other words, she's live, but you see her on a screen. She's also on stage through a pre-recorded FaceTime call or two. And I guess that's it. 1, 2, 3. I think there's a fourth way you get on stage, but we're not going to tell the audience about that. It's a very unique production in that it does involve FaceTime calls, work Zoom calls that go kind of crazy on Rose, the main character. So it utilizes a lot of technical stuff, which, quite frankly, I haven't had a clue about, but I've got an amazing technical crew that put it.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Sheila, how did it feel to be acting up in the green room, to appear on a screen, and of course to do a couple of very emotional scenes to your phone, which was recording what you were doing?
First, I just have to say how very much I've enjoyed this whole process. I'm just so very grateful that I was chosen to be part of this. Sam has written beautiful parts. I completely agree with that unsolicited feedback that you got. Perfect. It is such a richness to sort of embody that character for the first time and actually see the playwright right there and see how she is accepting my translation of her words, which are just fantastic. The green room, yeah, that's new for me. I'm working with fabulous actors, though, which makes it an easy transition for me. Bill is there, and Cameron is present, albeit on the stage. And of course, our magnificent crew that has just blown me away with all their wizardry. So I'm in good hands.
Great.
Well, I have followed Samantha's career for many years now,
Yes.
and her depth
Yes.
of acting and talent can be seen in every one of her productions.
Absolutely.
And we interviewed Samantha on Great County Life before, and but it's wonderful to see her in so many different plays and so many different emotional plays that she's done as well. Now she's into playwriting. Well, that was just the next step.
Not only is she the playwright, but she plays Rose as well.
Yes.
So you're in for a treat because she's playing a character that she wrote and modeled on herself to a certain degree, because Sam works in healthcare and of course was very involved with COVID lockdown. And so her experiences are channeled through her character, Rose. I've been on stage with Samantha at least actually 3 times now. And I agree with you totally. It's her comic timing and her emotional depth that make her a superb actress. And she's been able to take those attributes and put them into the lines in the play. So it's a very funny play, but at the same time, it has tremendous emotional depth.
Well, that's great. And we can see Samantha on screen here, but she
joined us. Terrific. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, this is really lovely to hear all these kind words. Thank you. But I'm going to put it back to you as well. Kevin is an amazing director, and this could not have gone on that stage without you, Kevin. You've just believed in that play and helped me craft it. So kudos to you as well. And Sheila, you're just a lovely actress, and you're very talented, and also a playwright coming up soon as well. So it's just a privilege to work with you, and I've really enjoyed working under Kevin's direction. So thank you to you both.
Well, thank
you, Sam.
And we should mention that Friday night's performance is one that includes the bonus of being able to ask the author questions after the show. So Sam will be on the hot seat, so to speak, after the show to answer your questions about the process of writing the play and some of the decisions she might have made in terms of the story and the characters.
Mm-hmm. Wow, what a great opportunity. Being the person who has created this whole event, Sam, not knowing where it's going to lead, it's rather exciting having it on our Owen Sound stage first and not knowing, like I say, where it's going to go. I just feel like this is something that's going to go out there and make such an impact.
Yes.
I agree. And I do want to mention that it would not be on stage without the sponsors that Owen Sound Little Theatre is able to count on. And the production sponsor, Iris, Vision Care Center of Owen Sound, incredibly generous to put on this show. But we have season sponsors as well that, of course, sponsor everything OSLT does. And that's Brand Realty, Gaframo, The Little Family, and Tamming Law. And I really encourage you to support those sponsors when you can, because without them, I really don't think we'd have live theater in Owen.
Lovely.
You also have a theater-going community. Every time that I have gone to any of the theater productions, it's pretty much sold out. I mean, it's a full audience, and the audience is always so grateful at the end of the show. So many standing ovations because we recognize the skills, the talents, the energy, the time that everyone puts into the Owen Sound Little Theater. And it's a way of acknowledging not only the special folks we have in our community to get up on stage, but to actually acknowledge the contribution that community members make to just being part of the audience.
I agree. There is something special about live theater. It creates memories that last so much longer, I think, than film or television. And that's why I think it's really important that we support community theater, but also that we have a youth program. And we do have that at OSLT, which I think is going to ensure that those who want to create, whether on stage or backstage or in the technical field, have that opportunity as we go forward.
Yes. We have a wonderful theater community, so supportive. It's great.
Indeed, and if you're hesitant about coming to see the show, because let's face it, COVID is still with us, I want to mention that on the second Friday, which is the 3rd of March, we have a masked performance. The actors are not masked, but everyone in the audience is to be masked, and that's adding a degree of protection for anybody who'd love to come to theater, but is a little worried about, as you say, a full audience. So on Friday, March 3rd, the audience will be masked.
Well, the other thing about that too, Kevin and Sheila, is that when I go to the theater, I still wear my mask, but I feel that I am accepted because other people are choosing not to wear a mask, and that's okay with me. I just want to not only protect myself, but to protect them as well. And I think our community is pretty accepting of folks who choose to wear a mask in certain situations and choose not to. And so I'm grateful that you have the March 3rd, which is mask for everyone. But when I go, I just pick the dates I want to go, and then I make the decision whether to mask or not.
Right.
But we just need to take a moment to talk about Sheila and what she's doing coming up. There's more talent to talk about.
I am a bit humbled. I really think Samantha's and Kevin's project and everybody involved should be the main focus. I'm very touched that I've been invited to talk a little bit about the play in June, which is Gorgeous Gallivanting Goddesses. And I'm so thrilled.
On there.
Pardon me?
And Rhonda and I are not on there.
Well, it hasn't been cast yet. It has not been cast. Everybody, well, not entirely cast.
We may not have missed our calling yet.
I think it will be very relatable, not just for women, but for men to have that bird's eye view of what happens when women get together in the willy wilds. So I hope it will put a lot of bums on seats and everybody will enjoy.
I'm sure. And we should mention that Bill Murphy is directing that production. Bill's a wonderful director, a wonderful actor. And we have the good fortune of having him in You, Me, and a Bit of Driftwood. And he plays Sheila's father in the show.
I have to let you know that I think out of the bunch of us, I was the first one to get to be directed by Bill Murphy in grade 11 drama class for the Remembrance Day ceremonies. So I absolutely adore that about our Roxy Theaters, getting to see people that we know up on stage and doing what they love. But Sheila, what prompted you to write this play?
It was actually a marriage of two loves. I'm very much an avid outdoors person, and specifically going to the Willy Wilds with some friends canoeing. And marriage of that and theater. And I never started out writing a play. I think I probably would have stopped myself right in the tracks with my inner critic. But coming back from a wondrous trip several years back, I just had this flow of scenarios and characters that I wrote for about a month. And it gave me such a great momentum that by the time that I even had the notion, is this a play? that I could just keep going with it. And I have to have a big shout out for Bill again, because I gave this rough play to Bill, and he has mentored me like a dad, but more like a teacher through this whole process. I'm just so very much appreciative of all his effort and championing me. And yeah, it's been great to see how Sam has enjoyed her process. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it feels for me and how other people will inform my words.
You know, I think we're going to have a wonderful season. Of course, we started with Beauty and the Beast, which was justifiably very well received. I thought it was one of the better musicals that we've done.
Yes.
And I do want to mention that Cameron Donsberger, who played the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, is playing Cooper opposite Sam. And the two of them have great chemistry. It's been fabulous working for them, because that's how I feel as a director. You work for the actors. You give them the opportunity to explore the characters to the greatest depth possible, and then perform it for you, our audience. But Cameron was a wonderful addition to the team of actors. And we also have a couple of other actors I'm sure you've seen many, many times. Jed and Jane Phillips are in the show playing husband and wife. I don't know if it's for the first time, but you can certainly tell they have a relationship off the stage. And they do a fabulous comic performance in this show for us.
Kevin, I have to just mention, I have felt very secure in being directed by you, which is a wonderful place to be as an actor, where you can grow as big as you can and feel that security of being pulled in when it becomes a bit too much.
Well, and we are very much looking forward to seeing everyone on stage and exploring the human existence for very different events in our lives. And we can't wait to see it. And
Hi, I'm Justice. And I'm Nia. And we believe dreams fuel revolutions. That's why we're engaging with Canadian icons and the causes they support. Join us for these inspiring conversations and find out how you can be revolutionary.
We can be hurt. We can be bruised. We can be broken. Slowed down, confused, and even numbed. But we can't be defeated. We're built on a foundation that's strong, our mission unwavering, and together we'll beat as one.
Immediately slips, keeps his balance, fights through the check of Crosby, and he scores. And
damn, I don't know whether it hit anybody in front or not, but it looked like it just went in all the way on his own. There's the original shot, just off the shoulder and behind the net. Then he picks it up and gets it and puts it away.
Hi, I'm David Shearman, host of Politically Speaking. Join me for my next show, where my guest will be Ross Kentner, Mayor of Meaford. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Grey County Life on Rogers TV at home this week. And we have our favorite episode, our favorite segment, Adorable Adoptables with Miss Renee. And as usual, you picked another favorite of mine. Oh my gosh, Renee, this is what we would call a calico.
It is. She's actually, it's kind of hard to see in this tiny screen, but this is a striped calico. So her black spots actually have stripes in them, which is gorgeous. She's very striking, and her name is Asuna. Now, I'll be honest with you, some of us are calling her Tuna because it's a little easier to remember. So either choice is fine, but it is Asuna. Now, we're doing this show a tiny bit different than the way that we usually do the shows, and that Asuna is actually not available today. Asuna has an appointment for her spay on Monday, and Asuna will be available probably like Wednesday, Tuesday of next week. So this is like a preview. The reason that we've done this is that, as everyone knows, we have spay-neuter appointments for adult cats before they can be adopted. Reality is nobody adopts them till they're fixed, which is okay. And we have 10 cats slated for Monday, and they're all sitting on hold waiting for that to happen. And we're running out of other cats, which is great for me, not so great for people looking. But perhaps it's somebody who's been watching the site or watching the Facebook page or watching the show to see when we bring some cats in. And so we're just mentioning that not only is Asuna going to be available soon, but we're going to have 10 more. Those cats will range in age from 6 months of age right through to 6 years of age, I believe, and will be males and females and all sorts of colors and shapes and sizes. So if you're looking and you're waiting, I know we've had a few people message us who are like, I only see one cat on your website. There's a reason for that. It's not that we've run out of cats, although that would be lovely. It's just that they're waiting for their vet appointment. We have found since COVID, the land of that thing, vetting is harder. It takes us a little longer. The wait lists are a little bit bigger. And so they don't get to fly out of here quite as quickly now. When saying with us to a really long time, her turn to get fixed so that she can go home. She is a 5-year-old female who's been indoor only, which is why I suspect her owner probably didn't spay her. They figured, why the heck not? We don't like to do things that way here at the shelter, so she's going to get done. She has her vaccines. She's good with cats. She was raised with a cat. She's good with dogs. She's good with kids. She's pretty much perfect, right? As soon as you have that surgery, you're going home.
She is ridiculously beautiful. She really, really is, and has the personality to match. Sometimes they get a little spoiled when they're so pretty, and we don't get to see such a good personality from them, but not with this one. She is purring in my ear, and she's loving love, and she's so happy. And definitely, if you're interested in watching and falling in love with her, which is what I'm hoping, what I want you to do is give me a call. And what will happen then is on Tuesday, when she's recovered and awake and alert and everything's healing, we'll set up an appointment for you to come in and meet her, see if she is truly the one you want, in which case she'll be available to go home. So I'm hoping by the next time we do our show, she'll be gone, which is the plan. And so this is sort of like a sneak peek in preparation of becoming available. It's like a preview, if per se, right? It's a preview. If the cat's been inside all that time, what happens to a kitty cat like that? Like if somebody's got a back door that's open and closed all the time with little people or animals, and she was to get out, she would be okay?
Well, the odds of her getting out are much smaller because she's afraid of the great outdoors. She's never been in them. She's not seen them. And so it's a perfect opportunity for somebody who doesn't want the cat that's going to run out the door. This would be it. In saying that, of course, things happen. And if that happens, she's probably not going to go very far, which is another bonus because she's, like I said, going to be afraid of that big world out there. I know my own cats are indoor only, of course. And the odd occasion that they've tiptoed out of curiosity, the minute they see something move or the wind blows or they hear a noise, they come bolting back in. They've never left 2 feet in front of the door, which is awesome. Let me tell you, it's awesome. She certainly doesn't need to go out there. We don't like to encourage that. I mean, for so many reasons, but you will have a happier, healthier, cleaner, which is important, pet for sure if you keep them inside. You don't have to deal with parasites. You don't have to deal with fleas and ticks and lice, and you don't have to worry about them picking up something. And more importantly, you don't have to worry about them going missing or getting into stuff that they shouldn't, right? Like meeting a car. That'd be terrible.
We're talking about the great outdoors, and I think you have a little heads up for us about the great outdoors.
I absolutely do. And typically this time of year, we have these conversations because the weather is changing and animals are getting weird. But I have to be entirely honest with you. I'm seeing some extra weird things happening, particularly with raccoons. Usually as the weather warms and they wake from hibernation, they're often a little confused, a little wobbly. People call us, we tell them it's okay, things are okay. But what we're seeing this year is that they're actually friendly. And I know that sounds really bizarre, but the calls that I've had come in as of late are people thinking that people have let go domesticated raccoons because the raccoons they're seeing actually want them to approach. They are trying to get in people's houses. They're trying to get in their carports. They're trying to get in their cars. Weird, right? My own personal self, I mean, and I have to say that I have said probably 10 times this week to people who've called me, everything's fine, it's just the weather, until I had my own personal experience. 2 nights ago, while in my hot tub, my husband and I were approached by a raccoon. Not only approached, he saw us. We did our usual, clap your hands, stomp your feet, make some noise. He came closer. I threw water from the hot tub on said raccoon. He came closer, poured a drink on said raccoon. He came closer to the point that he actually got on the rim of the hot tub. Now, I would never recommend anybody do what I'm about to tell you because for obvious reasons, we're trained professionals. Please don't do this. My husband actually hit the raccoon, slapped him in the face. Oh, sorry, I hate to say that on TV, but what are you going to do? No reaction, no response, to the point that he was coming on in for a hug, which is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Fully aware, fully alert, fully functioning, able, had a destination, sought it out. He was coming for a visit. We pushed him away. We got out of the tub. And last night he brought a friend, which makes it even stranger. The one last night was not the one from the night prior. We know the difference. Again, we're trained professionals. This one was significantly, oops, I've lost my cat. She's now like climbing under the cupboard. We're going to pretend that's not happening in the background. Here she comes. Hi again.
So these raccoons are a danger to people? Is it's not rabies, they're just acting so out of sorts?
I actually wonder if it is rabies, to be honest. There are 2 types of rabies. One is the one we're familiar with, frothing, drooling, twitching, shaking, tremors, in which they become aggressive. There is another form of rabies called dumb rabies, and dumb rabies does exactly that. It makes them dumb. It also makes them friendly, and it makes
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
When it comes to drugs, how much freedom is too much for kids? Drugs are out there. Will my teen feel free to say no around other kids? I didn't live drug-free when I was younger. Can I admit that to my kids? Drugs worry me, but how can I feel free to talk about it with my kids?
Questions about drugs and kids? Call or chat to get real-time support.
The devastating earthquake that struck Turkey and Syria has left thousands of people dead, and many more have lost their homes.